Right now, there's a continued push to put an end to gun violence in our area. Today, the Archdiocese of St. Louis held a gun violence summit. Faith leaders, healthcare professionals, community activists, and more came together at Cardinal Rigali Center in Shrewsbury. The morning started with speakers and ended with breakout sessions, all of it centered around the crisis our city and country continue to face. 5 on Your Side's Mercedes McKay has more.
The hours-long summit was not only filled with long conversations about how to solve this issue together as a community, but it was also filled with powerful and emotional testimonies from people personally affected by gun violence. Lord God speaks of peace. Songs, prayers, and conversations filled the Cardinal Rigali Center in Shrewsbury.
We wanted to bring the light of hope to the darkness of gun violence.
A darkness that has impacted and traumatized many who filled the room on Saturday.
A year ago in October, my daughter was one of the students at the high school where the shooting was.
The crisis that gun violence has become is why the Archdiocese of St. Louis hosted this one-day summit.
It's a human life issue, and it's a quality of our life issue. So when people are threatened by gun violence, they're not living the fullest potential of their lives.
From mental health professionals to healthcare workers to gun violence victims, everyone who stood behind the podium talked about the magnitude of this problem.
This is a huge public health issue. I mean, whenever you're in the top 5 causes of death for young people in our country, we need to do something about that.
But doing something about it won't be easy.
There's not just one solution. Pull out all the stakes, it's a multi-pronged problem.
An issue that many believe can be solved through the community by investing in one another.
Creating the environment where people don't feel like that homicide or suicide is an option.
And it has to be all hands on deck.
It's going to take the entire community, not just certain segments of the community, to make this a better place for everybody.
One of the speakers included one of the first responders at the scene at the Central Visual and Performing Arts shooting last year in St. Louis. He says all of the first responders have talked about how they see so much violence in their day-to-day job, but that day and that trauma has stuck with them a lot longer. In St. Louis, Mercedes McKay, 5 on Your Side.
The Archdiocese of St. Louis isn't stopping with today. Archbishop Rozanski wants to set up a task force for the Archdiocese to focus on what the church can do in preventing gun violence, helping victims, and healing the community.